Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the March 25th Baltimore County Delegation meeting. I'm Delegate Pat Young. We have a hopefully short agenda. We welcome our good senator from 44B, Senator Sidnor. Welcome. Just housekeeping for those that don't necessarily remember, we have a bill that's passed out of our delegation, and the Senate versions come over, and there hasn't been any changes. We don't necessarily have a delegation hearing for it, but these three bills are new to us, so we're going to go ahead and let Senator Sidnor start with SB 55.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senate Bill 55 is a bill that I began looking at last year. What it does is it provides our school board with to retain counsel. There was a Maryland Office of Inspector General for Education report that came out and essentially had noted that the school board had been using counsel in a way that was not consistent with the law. But I can promise you this bill was actually being thought about prior to this report. It puts us in the same spot as 22 other counties in Baltimore City, with the school board being able to retain counsel rather than going to the legal department for Baltimore County. So that is the bill.
Thank you. And just for our notes, how did it pass out of the Senate delegation?
Oh, I'm sorry. It was unanimous.
Excellent. Questions for Senator Sidnor on SB 55? Seeing none, moving right along. Oh, see you. Senator Elliott Cardin, go ahead. You're muted.
Sorry, we do have a letter of support or acknowledgement from the county.
The county did not
want to participate. At least answer me.
Okay. So the county didn't weigh in, negative or positive. Okay.
No, they did not weigh in. I believe the school board did weigh in, but it's my understanding the county's position was that this was a school board issue.
Thank you.
Further questions for Senator Sidnor on SB 55? Seeing none, go ahead and we'll move on to SB 414, Baltimore County Board of Education members and election officers.
All right. 414 is similar, but not exactly the same to a bill that you all passed last year. What it does is it addresses an issue that had first occurred back in 2019 with a school board vote for chair. What the bill does is it says that when there's an election that the person who obtains the majority of the votes will be the chair. In 2019, we had a vote where the sitting chair, I think, received one less vote than the challenger. However, because of the way the rules operated, the challenger with the most votes did not win because they didn't receive 7 votes. So what the bill does is it says if the majority wins. Additionally, what the bill does is because we have currently 12 members on the school board, it expands the school board by 1 voting member who would be appointed or go through the same appointing process as all appointees to the school board, but rather than that appointed member being appointed by the governor, they will be appointed by our county executive after going through the process. To the question that was asked before, this bill, I believe there was within the Senate delegation, Senator West was the sole vote against this bill. Although he had said to me that within another year he would probably vote for it, but given some of the things that had happened this past year, he could not vote for the bill. Additionally, this bill, to Delegate Cardin's last question, it did receive the support from the county executive's office.
Thank you, Senator. Questions for Senator Sidnor on Senate Bill 414? Delegate Bill Castro.
Thank you very much, Chair Young. And I'm sorry if I missed this in your testimony. What's the reasoning that we believe we need an additional appointed member on the Board of Education?
Well, I believe it's similar to what's going on in the county right now when you're looking at the large number of people or the total population of the county. There's an effort right now going on to expand the county council. What this does is it expands the board. It places some authority within our county executive's office, who has the ability or is closest to the ground in terms of what's happening in Baltimore County. We've had some issues with diversity on our school board as well. And I believe that by placing the authority with the county executive, who again is closer to the ground in Baltimore County rather than with the governor, the issues that we're having with diversity on the school board, given we're going and looking at the appointment process, we're likely not to have those same types of issues with this appointed person.
Chair Young, may I please have a follow-up?
Yep. Go for it.
Thanks. I was wondering, so if we are having that discussion right now in Baltimore County, right, about expanding the council. And so I'm wondering what the ramifications of this would be if we are successful in expanding the Baltimore County Council, right? Because our school system, our school board elections mirror the county council or the councilmanic district. So has there been any thought to that if we are successful in expanding the council?
This bill doesn't contemplate it, but you all did pass legislation that would give the school board member the ability to vote, right? So right now, under the current situation with our school board, you have 12 members. So without an extra member, you have the possibility of having a 6-6 vote. You need to have an odd number on votes.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Further questions for Senator Sidnor on Senate Bill 414? Seeing none, moving on to Senate Bill 557, Baltimore County West Baltimore County Development Authority.
All right, this bill is it's actually an authorizing bill providing or authorizing our Baltimore County Council to create a redevelopment authority on the west side of Baltimore County, touching or just capturing a number of communities within Legislative District 44B and partially in District 10. The northern boundary being Liberty Road, western boundary, Rolling Road, southern boundary, Edmondson Avenue, Baltimore National Pike, excuse me. And the eastern boundary being the Baltimore City, Baltimore County border. So what some of you may not know, and I think some of your communities may be experiencing some of the same things. The county kind of picks and chooses, as well as developers, which communities to go into. On our side of town, for whatever reason, the county has not invested in it in a way that I believe and that many of the community members believe, and private businesses, or the types of private businesses that many in the community have looked to invest in our communities has not. A lot of this has been, some has been willful neglect, some has just been, I think, just leadership wanting to focus in other areas. So with this redevelopment authority, we would have the tools and things that are necessary to really focus on the development in these communities that have been neglected. To the question, again, in terms of Senate delegation, it was a unanimous side of our delegation. We did receive a letter of information from Baltimore County. And initially, the Board of Realtors opposed. We had conversations with them, and they stood down after the bill was amended. There was some question or concern with regards to the redevelopment authority having the ability or having the county's power to use eminent domain. So the bill was amended so that this redevelopment authority would not have the ability to use eminent domain. But if something like that came up, it would be able to essentially advise or provide a recommendation to the county that is something that the county council and county executive would want to do.
Thank you, Senator. Questions on Senate Bill 557, Delegate Ruth?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Senator, for this important bill that would mean so much to our communities. Just a question about the eminent domain. Does the county have that ability? Okay, because I know there was some question of that.
Right, which is why again, I mean, when the county is doing sidewalks and things like that, they have that right. So it's a power that's already there that had to be explained to some who had those kinds of questions. It's just whether or not it's used. And mind you, over here on the Senate side, we had more than a couple dozen of community members come and testify in support of this legislation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Delegate Schilligan.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Nice to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Is there a map? Do you have can you give us access to exactly where you're talking about?
I do not have a map, but I could get something to you. So
if you could, it would be nice for all of us to really see. This is really important, especially if you're talking about eminent domain.
Again, I'm not talking about eminent domain. That was what I was raising is there was a concern that was raised. So this redevelopment authority does not have the ability to use eminent domain. That what I was saying is that power remains with the county council and county executive.
But there still could be, I'm sorry, I should have clarified, there could be eminent domain used.
There always could be eminent domain use for anything that the county wants to do. Absolutely. That power is already there.
Right. But here, if we're talking about enabling that, it'd be good for us to see on a map exactly where we're looking at. So if you could do that for us, I think it would be really helpful for us.
I can do that, but again, I also mind just to be clear, this bill, when it was drafted so as not to touch on anyone else's districts except for District 44 and District 10.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Speaker Jones.
Yes, Senator Sidnor, can you be more specific in terms of the areas of District 10 and 44?
So again, the northern boundary is Liberty Road, and it goes west to Roland Road. So currently you'll have some precincts that are in 10 right now that would be included in the map. And it would go south to National Pike, and the eastern boundary is Baltimore City and Baltimore County's line. So the majority of the area is in District 44, but there are portions of the current District 10 that will be included in the map.
Because I know in some of the areas of 10 that there are some projects that are in I don't know whether you've seen the capital budget or not, that was put in there, and in the discussion I had with the county executive in our areas and some of our schools, that type of thing. I didn't know if you were aware of that or not.
I am. And in fact, just so that everyone understands this particular footprint, that area, what it captures, it captures at least one opportunity zone that's in the area. It captures a number of commercial revitalization zones that are currently in the district, as well as and you have some sustainable communities that are in this district. So whereas rather focusing on little small areas, it made the most sense to have this one geographic area that had a variety of special designated programs be included in the full footprint of the program. Now, the reality is the county, it has certain powers or certain tools to do things. This is a tool that it does not have, and that it really needs in order to bring some transformative development to our community. So that's why I was introduced, and I hope that you all will support or report this out favorably.
Further questions for Senator Sidnall? Seeing none. Thank you, Senator. That was the extent of our agenda today, everyone. We'll send these to subcommittee and next week vote as a delegation. With that, motion to adjourn.
So moved, Chair.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.